Hello, welcome to this special Women's Day interview series for News 9. My name is Anurag Tagat, and I'll be speaking to Kayan, also known as Ambika Naik, a Mumbai based DJ and singer songwriter and model and actor, about her journey so far in the music industry, as well as some of the special sets that she's performed.
So yeah, Mega, like how's it going? Thanks for taking the time out to talk to me. And like I feel like it's obviously been like really hectic times for you recently, as well as like I'm guessing like
Mm-hmm.
for a while now.
Yeah. Hi, Anurag. Thank you for having me. It's lovely to see you. Yes, it has been really hectic because it's just that there's been so many things going on. Again, like I said, I'm not complaining. I'm really, really happy that there's so much work happening. It's all I ever wanted. So I'm really, really happy about that. Yeah, there's been shows going on, shoots going on, new music that I'm trying to write. Gigs are back on. So like I'm playing every weekend. I'm working on my new live set, so it's been a mix of so many things, which is great.
Yeah, and I imagine like these sort of things like artists have had like the pandemic at the back of their mind so much, but like what was it like in your case?
I think the pandemic for me was, I mean, I obviously had a lot of lows at a lot of points because there were literally moments where I was questioning why I've decided to do what I do, you know. It was so difficult. There was no work happening and everything just suddenly shut down. And most of the work, at least, in the entertainment industry, whether it's live shows or performances or shoots or any of that stuff, is what took like a really, really bad hit. So there were moments when I felt really upset about that. But a huge thing that happened and came out of the pandemic is me as a solo artist, Kayan. When the first lockdown hit is when I got time and I was able to finally put my own music out and launch myself as Kayan, which is something I've always wanted to do. Like it's like always been the end goal for me. So that happened, which was amazing. And ever since I just got to write, I mean, even though we were in a pandemic on and off for the past 2 years, um we've like made music and shot music videos, and I wanted to put every song I do out with a music video. It was so difficult at a lot of moments because there's lack of funds, lack of spaces, you can't shoot, it's the lockdown. People are not there, people you want to work with are not there, but made it happen somehow, and here we are. So it I think I really, really worked really hard to make the most of whatever was there with me at that point throughout. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not to hold anything against those artists, but I feel like a lot of artists just moved to Goa and felt like, like that was the plan. And I'm sure you know so very well. Like, I'm just did it ever cross your mind, or you're like, nah, like I'm fine here.
No, no, no. I never even once felt like I want to move anywhere because I I don't know. I just have some sort of belief always that something's going to work out. If there's so much work that's going in, there has to be something that's going to come out of it. So it was difficult, but also I have the responsibility of running a home and taking care of my cats. And I live with a lovely flatmate who's like one of my best friends. So I had all of that already over here. Like I've set base really strong. I mean, I am from Mumbai, and my family stays in Bombay too. But I moved out about a few years ago, and I had moved out because I wanted to push myself to work harder, because then I'd have to pay rent, and that was really difficult initially, like a lot more difficult than I thought. But it just got easier. And I did end up working a lot. And so, we have a home, and I have like these two cats. They're like babies, so I at no point and did I, and also we got a great deal on this house in the lockdown. So I was like, there's no way I'm gonna let go of this house and just, go away somewhere. So not even once did I. Maybe like it must have been a fleeting thought, but otherwise, not really. No.
Right, yeah, more power to that for sure. Um, and I guess one of the things I wanted to ask about was just, like as somebody who's followed your journey from like the time that you were in Kimochi Yukai and stuff, like I feel like you moved in and out of like so many different roles in the music world,
Hmm.
like whether it's the band
Yeah.
or whether it's pop music or whether it's DJing more recently. So like yeah, and as well as acting and modeling. So I wanted to understand just
Hmm.
like how it's been for you to move in and out of those worlds?
So I feel like to me it's all like one big world, and I do all these things in it. Like it's happened very organically. These are all things that I've always sort of had a little bit of a knack for. And with time, I think I've just understood how to manage my time better and work on more skill sets so as to do more things. So initially when I was in a band at that time, that's what I could do best. So I was in a band. It's obviously an experience that's amazing. And it taught me so much. I have played with so many musicians and it was just absolutely fun. And then I was a part of Nothing Anonymous, which was the two-piece act, Nirmit and I. And then there was that experience of just the two of us writing music and touring and all of that. And eventually I could do Kayan as my own thing. And um, as Karan, of course, I started learning how to DJ. That was from Sand Dunes, Sanaya, who's also a brilliant artist. She taught me how to DJ, like the basics. And then I just started practicing a lot. And we used to like contribute and rent the CDJs and bring it home and just keep practicing and playing and, throwing a lot of parties. But that's great, I guess. And a lot of modeling work started coming in, or acting work started coming in. And initially, I used to say no because I wasn't so sure, in the sense of I used to keep playing all these gigs and it's like, oh, when am I ever going to do that? But I think I just understood how to manage all of this better and figure out that just give it a shot, like try everything. So it happens very organically. It can get a little tiring sometimes because you're doing like, especially when work's opened up like this now, if I'm playing like 3 days on the weekend. But I'm also that kind of a person who's like, oh, is it an exciting shoot? Like I'll take it, and I'll shoot the music video next week and I'll do this. And so I go a little like extra with that. But that's me right now, and I really enjoy it, and I love doing all of this. It's not like for a moment am I in a place where I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this. The moment I feel like something's not right, I won't do it. I do everything that I really, really believe in and I enjoy doing. Yeah.
Yeah, and it definitely comes across as, like some of the projects like Nothing Anonymous, for example, like, it's not something that, that you do for a while and then you sort of be like necessarily move on from it, right? Like it's obviously some things that you come
Yeah,
back to. Like I'm guessing even
absolutely.
like you mentioned the live set right now. So can you tell me a bit about like, working on your live sort of project?
So yeah, so for about 2 years, basically since the lockdown has happened, I have only been performing as a DJ, which has also been an absolutely amazing experience. It's something else altogether. There's so much I've had to learn. There's so many people I've gotten to meet, and it's so much fun. It's like it's crazy. It's so much energy, and that's just how I am also when I'm performing and the kind of music I play. So it's been a lot of fun. But through these 2 years, I've also been releasing all my music as Kayan, and I've not been able to sing it live, which is something that I've been waiting to do for a very, very long time. So yeah, so we're finally going to be performing live at the Weekender this next month. And it was supposed to happen last month, but that got called off because of COVID again. So it's happening now, and I have a wonderful band that we put together. And while band rehearsals and blah 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 coming into place, I'm remembering what it's like to be in a band, because I've just been doing my own thing, and now suddenly there's like managing 5 people or like whatever 4 people and trying to figure out dates and sending this to this one, sending this to that one. But I mean, it's fun. It's all a part of it, and the end result is always really, really worth it. So I'm very, very excited to be performing all this music live. Finally, I've been playing these songs on my DJ sets because people know it and they want to hear it and they want to sing it, and that's crazy. So like at the end of my set or somewhere, in the beginning or something, I drop these songs, and it's so much fun. But to be able to perform that is going to be a whole another experience. I'm really, really excited to do that.
Yeah, I
Sorry,
think,
your mic
yeah,
went
yeah,
on.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I can imagine, it feels like that the DJ set is so like everything again, like I only experienced this through your Instagram stories. So like most people
Yeah.
who haven't been to your shows yet, but like I wanted to understand like what uh what sort of has gone into that? Like you told me that how you used to rent out CDJs and you were just, throwing parties and, figuring out the sound that way, figuring out what worked that way. But yeah, like compared to like some of the sets you played recently, like what do you feel goes into planning like a really banger DJ set?
Um, so I play in so many different cities in India, and I feel like every city has a little bit of a different vibe as to what the audience wants to listen to. There's always a collective genre that everybody likes. But my sorry, did my WhatsApp ping on this? I'm gonna shut it. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So every city has a different vibe, and they collectively like one genre. But I don't play just one genre in my DJ sets. It's a mix of everything. Like I'll play old school hip hop. I'll play some R&B tunes. I'll play a lot of edits. I play like underground, ghetto tech, electro, drum and bass. Sometimes not that much anymore, not all the time. But bass music, dance hall. You know, to me, if a song makes me dance and I listen to so much different kind of music, I can play it for someone else. And I feel like my way of doing it is mixing all these genres in my own way. I don't know how, but I've kind of like gotten a hang of it. It's just like I guess doing it over and over again. And so for every city, I work on different sets. I don't take the same thing and play it. I've never done that. I curate sets specifically for those cities or for those audiences for that show, and of course I know some things. If I've played in the city before, then I know a few things that'll work. Then I'll balance it with a few things that I'd like to try out. And then again with some things that are probably everyone's not going to like, but if you deliver it the right way, then everyone's dancing to it. Because I realized that in my DJ sets, I'll play one song that everybody knows is probably like a hip hop song that's super popular, and that even I like. I don't play anything I don't like. I like the music I play. I listen to it. So I'll play that song, and then suddenly everyone's singing it, and they're like, having a great time. And I'll suddenly mix it in with this like vague electro tune that's still such a bop, but these people don't listen to that kind of music. But because they're already in that flow, everyone's having a good time. So I think I've kind of figured out my own style of, my DJ sets, and it's a hit or a miss, but more often than not, it's thought out. It's well thought out. I listen to a lot of music. I download a lot of new music. I take my time out and work on every DJ set, which is how I feel like this response has been happening, which is how I think it's picked up, and it's doing well. So yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I was just going to say that, like it feels like a part of DJing or curating or putting together DJ sets, which a lot of people probably don't think about, is that, yeah, you listen to a lot of music, right? Like you listen to what works and like
Mhm.
you sort of know what works. So,
Yeah.
like in your experience, how has it been discovering like new music and just also thinking about it for your set, but also, I guess, since you're also a singer-songwriter, what
Yeah.
is it like being influenced by it for your pop project?
I find it really, really exciting that when I listen to music, there's so many ways I look at it, right? Because a I would sometimes I listen to a song and I'm like, oh my God, I would drop this on a set because to me it bangs like that. Or I listen to something else and be like, that's just written so well, and I wish I could write like that. And I think it's been really long since I've just heard music and not analyzed it in some form in my head. I think it's tough to do that as a musician. You really, really have to be very centered and I don't know, somewhere very calm to not look at it like that. I think it's difficult, but I'm okay with it. It's fine. I love listening to music, and obviously there are a million thoughts that run through my head when I do. So all the music I listen to influences me in different ways. Either I like it, either I want to play it on a set, either I want to write something like that, or it's something that I want to listen to again and again. Yeah, but it stays with me. If a song stays with me, then it'll somehow seep through in my other activities, which is cool.
Right, fair enough. And speaking of the, of your songwriting, like I wanted to ask about how that has changed over the years in terms of the process and just the things you want to sing about, because
Hmm.
the things we saw which came out recently, like Be All Right, or even before that, Cool Kids, like it's all it's all got such a, like, some of it, for example, obviously Be All Right felt like a very soothing, calming sort of thing for people in the
Hmm.
pandemic, right? Well, and
Right.
Cool Kids, whereas, was a completely different vibe that way. You
Yeah.
know, so yeah, like, I wanted to understand, like, how have you been sort of changing the kind of things you want to sing about, or in fact, has it been like just exactly what you want to sing about?
Um, so I feel like every song that has come out so far also has kind of defined a phase in my life. A lot of times, and I keep saying this, is I feel like even though I'm a very communicative person and I do not find it difficult to talk to people or talk about my feelings and emotions, and there are still some things that I feel I can write better or sing better than just say, you know. So every song has kind of been like at some point a phase in my life or a situation that's happened or an experience that I've gone through. Be All Right, for example, at that point was I was consuming so much news that was just so difficult and very heartbreaking. And that's all. I mean the lockdown was getting, it was really dark. So at that point I felt I wanted to just put something out that felt like a ray of sunshine, because I think I needed to hear that. So when I wrote that, it kind of, it was just something happy and something nice that everybody could probably vibe with and just feel better about. And see, we were singing that, and things are a little better, I guess. So I mean, there's still so much shit going on in the world, but at least, I mean, I'm speaking from a place of privilege and gratitude that things are a little better, and it helped. It helped. That song helped. The same way, I feel like I'll never be constricted or this to one type of songwriting or sound, or I wanted to be evolving constantly. We go through so many different experiences as humans, and I will keep wanting to write about different things. Another release that's going to be coming up soon is so different from everything that I've put out so far. I'm so excited to put it out just because people are probably going to be like, what the fuck? You write like Cool Kids and Be All Right, and you put out this like song. And I don't want to talk about it too much because it's happening. We're shooting the music video for it next week. I'm really excited. So yeah, I think that will go to show that I'm not stuck to a particular sound or type of songwriting. Or I feel like overall there is a certain vibe and aesthetic and mood that does kind of stitch all of it together. Like, that I do feel like I can call my sound or my vibe. But technically speaking, it could all be different things, but there'll be like my own mood that I kind of put in it. So yeah.
Right. And I feel like one of the highlights that you had last year was doing the virtual performance at South by Southwest, which I think was, I felt like for you, like it was like a global leap in a sense, like, which is
Mm-hmm.
something obviously, like, rightly so, like a lot of Indian artists, a lot of indie artists
Yeah.
want to pursue. So yeah, I guess I wanted to ask you about that. Like, what was it like sort of making that leap, and also did you in fact like get a little bit more of a global following, and like what that has been like?
Mhm. It was amazing. I was thrilled when we found out that we'll be doing SXSW. I always mess that up, by the way. Have you realized it's such a difficult thing to say, like South by Southwest? Anyway, I was so thrilled when we found out we were going to be doing that, and it it did not have a ridiculously huge change, or like I didn't get a massive global following, but there were definitely people who reached out, who whose radar we got on, which is the most important thing. Like, you need platforms like these to just move forward and reach more people, because that's literally the only thing that's holding you back. You have a platform like this, to reach more people, and that's it. You never know what clicks with whom and who likes what. So it definitely was really, really helpful in that aspect, and is also a really good experience to have. So yeah, that was pretty amazing.
Yeah, can imagine. And like in terms, you mentioned that the single is going to be coming up. You're shooting a video. You mentioned the live band is going to be performing at Weekender. I want to know, like, what else have you sort of been plotting out for the rest of the year?
So I, of course, I have a lot of shows coming up. So I'm playing almost every weekend, in different cities, which is very exhausting because you need like a day or two to at least recover from that. But it's fine. It's I love it. I mean, it's my work, but it doesn't feel like it. It's so much fun. So there's a lot more music that I am working on right now. I want to complete all of this. My main priority right now is working on the live set, because once it's out there, we're going to be doing more of that. I absolutely miss being on stage and singing and performing and talking to an audience. I've always loved doing that the most. So that's a lot of fun. Yeah, and there's a lot of shoots that's been going on. So there'll be, it's almost like every week feels so new and exciting, because I do like a bunch of different things. So suddenly, like, I don't know what's going to come through. There's just like new opportunities coming through, and it's very, very exciting. So I'm going to be shooting for something really exciting, actually. Uh yeah, there's a lot of things that I also can't like mention straight up, but yeah, there's just so much work happening, and it's all going to be very exciting. And I'm also very like active and vocal on social media. So I kind of feel like every time something does happen, I'm like there ready to share with everyone, be like, hey guys, here's what's up. I keep everyone in the loop always.
Yeah, I think it's very sort of uh I mean, of course, at some point people can just say it's just a function of being an artist in 2022, where like you just have to be like open and out there and just have to be telling everybody everything all the time. But at the same time, yeah, I feel like it also helps people like, yeah, just be updated without being like, oh, I wonder what's going on with Kayan or something like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. I think there's a skill in like making everyone think that they do know everything. It doesn't always have to be like that, but there's a way to do that. But at least one thing that I know is I'm really grateful for having a platform like that, because it's just the best way to reach your fans and your audience and people, and tell them that, hey, this is what's up. I'm playing this weekend. Everybody come. It's just an easier way to get through to people. So yeah, I'm grateful for that. It's really helpful.
right. All right, Ambika, that's about it. Thank you so much for taking the time out. Always great talking to you.
Thank
And
you, Anurag.
yeah,
Always great talking to you. Thank you for having me. I'll see
yeah,
you
we'll
very
see you
soon.
out. Yeah, see you out on the road sometime.